back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This battle has already started before I even get to say a word. And you're looking at a 212A, the Tier 9 Soviet SPG, located on the north spawn of Siegfried Line, and this one is under the command of Angelina75. Now it's the usual weekly contest to get the weekend line on the Sunday morning. And Angelina's chosen to play her first battle in the 212A. 2 marks of excellence on the barrel. And she's already hunting for her first target. Okay, the first victim out the field's a Batchat 25 ton, but she decides not to go after the... Actually, it's the Tier 9 Batchat 25 TAP. Not the Batchat 25 ton. But she's decided to go after a Leopard prototype who's just hiding in that corner. Rounds out. Very accurate. It went straight to the aim point. Not sure if it actually hit the Leopard prototype, but she's changing position just slightly because she is right up against the edge of the field. And if she was to stay where she was, then the enemy Arty might try to counter battery her. And it's worth moving, changing position. Okay, couldn't get any of those guys because they're just too close and too many obstructions in the way. I usually find you get better views on the enemy from a little further away, to the left, to the west, closer to the Dragon's Teeth. Then you're looking straight down the line at these guys, and that little road there, you're in line with it. So actually, around about the bunker, the first bunker, is probably the best place to aim from. Oh, hit the bunker, unfortunately. Now, there is a spot, there's a tree just a little further along, near the cap area, and I think this might be, is it the tree? I think it might be this tree, but you can actually shoot down one of the streets in the city. In fact, several of the streets in the city by firing from that position. But Angelina's decided not to fire from there. She's going a little further west, which obviously will help her on those enemy tanks such as the Object 705A, because they're just on that corner. So around about here would be the best place to shoot from. There's a dip in the land, which means you're hidden from the enemy tanks just slightly to the south. We can see that both the other Artys, the GW Tiger and the Batchat 155-58, went out into the field, and they're right over in the corner. She could shoot from here or from the next tree. Yep, she's decided this is the right spot to go from. Now you'll notice, oh, enemy Arty just spotted the tracer, came from that spot. Now, can she get him? Firing in on that spot. That was a good guess. I like that guess. It's worth firing around in just in case there's a possibility you might be able to get somebody. But you can see from certain angles you can actually get shots on enemy tanks that are in the town. And there's that Leopard 1 hiding behind that post, and we just saw another of the enemy Artys out in the field to our right. So we know one's in the field, one's near the house, near the cap area. Oh, we were spotted as well, and we got damaged in the track and stunned, but no actual damage loss. So the enemy Arty knows where we are as well. They managed to spot the tracer. Now there's 2 enemy tanks in the field, the Batchat 25 TAP and a tank destroyer out there as well. So we've got to watch out because we might be receiving an unexpected visit. There's that Arty out the field again. He's firing from near the bunker. But in the meantime, Angelina's chosen to go for the K91 PT, or she could hit the 705A. Rounds out. Yes! Good hit. 214. Nice. Direct hit on the enemy. Changing position to avoid counter battery. It might amuse you to know, if you've not been following the latest news, But it appears that the American M777s are actually having a significant effect upon the Russian Arty, mainly because our Arty can fire longer than theirs, and it means that they can't counter battery us. Yeah, so it actually works in real life, and that's having an effect upon the battlefield, because it means that it's forcing the Russians to leave territory that they previously held. In fact, now they're almost departed from Kharkiv, or Kharkiv I should say, and it's forcing them to back away. They could be pushed out of Ukraine altogether, and that would end the war, and that would be a very good thing for everyone. Going for the Leopard. Bounce out. Well, it landed right in front of him, and because he's got very thin armour, he lost 306 hit points of damage, even though it was a near miss. She's deciding just to change position a little, and that's fine, that's perfect. And now she's got shots on an Object 279E and this Object 705A, who thinks that he's invulnerable whilst he's moving around this area, because he's got a wreck in front of him. That's not going to help you. Not with Arty. Rounds out. Direct hit. 412 hit points. Which proves that, yes, if you camp and you use a wreck to protect yourself and push it around, you let Arty know exactly where you are, and of course we can hit you. Yes, Arty is becoming the king of the battlefield again and winning wars both in the game and outside the game. 279E, about the only thing that kills 279Es is Arty. She did it! 279E sent to the scrap heap by an Arty. You see? Arty wins games. Not to mention what it's doing in Ukraine at the moment. I'm really, well, I did mention it, but the fact of the matter is, Arty is having a tremendous effect. Just today it was announced by the Americans, as well as by the Ukrainians, that apparently an entire Russian battle group was wiped out. I think it was over 70 tanks and associated vehicles were wiped out by Arty after Arty destroyed the river crossing and they couldn't cross. And they got stuck. And whilst they were stuck, the Arty took advantage of them and wiped them out. That tank is gone. The 705's out the game. This GW Tiger's been spotted. We're dialing in. Rounds out. This should be a kill. It is. Direct hit. Wiped him out for 500 hit points. One shot kill. And that just leaves two other Artys, the M53 and the Batchat 155-58. Well, our team are now moving infield, and we know where one of the other Artys was located, so Angelina is hovering around the area where he was last spotted, where the tracer came from, just in case he's spotted, if she's fully dialed in, and there he is! She fires the round straight away, he backs up, and that's him! She's killed another one! 3 kills, which means she's the top scorer alongside the Kunstpanzer at the moment. And there's the other Arty. Oh, she doesn't get a chance to get the counter battery. It would have been nice. But the game's over and it was a victory. And well done, Angelina. Here's the end of battle stats, and that's the second class tanker for Angelina75 in the 212A. She got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 6, but no other medals. But it was a high win rate, 2,398, because she was hammering the enemy, and she was getting good kills as well on the enemy, which was surprising. Well, not surprising, because of course it is a very good gun. The 203mm B4 howitzer does have a 900 alpha and can penetrate through 52mm of armor, which means that it can even get through the hull, the top hull rather, of an Object 279E, or just overwhelm it with the force of the explosion. As you saw, she took out one of the toughest overpowered tanks in the battlefield. No problem for Angelina. Let's have a look at team score. Well, she didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Kunstpanzer. He got 4,287 hit points. The gorilla got 4,083. The third highest damage, the T30 with 3,199. Angelina managed 2,180 hit points. When it came to kills, she shared the top spot with the Kunstpanzer. They both had 3 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, yeah, the Kunstpanzer got that one as well. So it's top on all 3 for him. 1,062, he managed to get base XP. 939 to the T30, 898 to the Gorilla 15, and Angelina picked up 792, which is not a bad score. Let's have a look at detail. She fired 11 rounds. She got 4 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetration and 9 splash. Damage of 2,180 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I suspect that direct hit, by the way, that was, I think, the GW Panther, because she didn't get a direct hit on the M53. She hit him with splash. Yep, you see there, 450 on him. In fact, actually, she did more damage. Pardon me. When she fired that first blind shot in to try and hit him, she must have actually hit him, because she actually claimed 450 out of his health. And the second shot wasn't that much, so she did hit him the first time round with the blind shot. The GW, though, she got a direct hit on him, and yes, it went straight through his armour, because of course it's negligible armour, and she claimed the full 500 hit points off that one. She also did receive 1 hit by way of splash damage. We don't know which Arty it was who fired at her and actually did manage to score that, but yes, she did get hit, but only stunned, not and of course the tracks were damaged, so that counts as a critical hit for the other team. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were kills. There was a 4 difference, so she was a little way away from getting a Confederate medal. 138 hit points of stun assist off 6 stuns. She earned 20,442 off a free-to-play account, and after repair and ammunition resupply, she actually made a small loss of 955 credits and 792 base XP, and times 2 for the first victory. Took away 1,584 experience points altogether. Let's have a quick look at the the armor and the modules again, because we like to try and include this if we can, so you get an idea of where you can hit these vehicles if you're actually aiming at them. You can see that it does have quite a big lower plate, 60 millimeters, 75 on the front there, and it's quite high values with the angling. 60 millimeters on the front there, angles to 64. Thin here, 30 millimeters, but that's so flat that anything hitting it's more likely to bounce off. Where the drivers here is 60 millimeters, and round the mantlet is quite strong. So you don't really want to aim for the mantlet, but the sides of the vehicle are fairly weak. 60 millimeters all the way down on the side there, 60 millimeters, but they're flat, so obviously you're just getting the 60. And at the rear of the vehicle as well. Remember, this tank was actually designed from a heavy tank, the KV-222, but they never put it into production. The armor's fairly even all round. You can see that I've switched to the live model, and yeah, you can see where the hitbox is. It is a strong tank, but not as strong as some of the other tanks in the game. So let's have a look at the modules. Okay, there's the modules up, and you can see the driver's sitting up front. We've got the transmission in front of him, the engine directly behind him, and the fuel tanks, 2 of them, are actually either side in the actual central hull of the vehicle underneath the gun. We've got the gunner on the right hand side of the tank, we've got the tank commander on the left hand side, and he's got the radio operator sitting behind him with the radio next to him. And we've got 2 big ammo racks in the rear of the vehicle next to the breech with the 2 loaders there, and there's a big long-term ammo store, or the storage, down below in the actual hull. So if you want to make one of these go bang, go here. That's the spot to go for, the ammo rack. And yes, that will make the tank go boom very, very quickly. So that's where most people aim, or should aim, but they don't always aim for that. They try to, they just either auto aim onto the thing, and then they'll hit somewhere around about here on the side of the vehicle, or on the front, or whatever. But if you want to get engine damage, you aim for the front. If you want to get the ammo rack, go for the back. So that's the end of the first battle. This is a 3 replay video. The second one is also from Angelina. She sent me another one in afterwards. So let's go straight into that. The second replay is on the north spawn of Prokhorovka. Well, you may notice that I've had to use a standard client, the Virgin client, to actually run this replay. Sometimes the games just won't run with the mods, and it's really unfortunate. But thankfully, I do keep the Virgin client for all of the versions, at least as many as I can, so that I can run it even if the mods won't run. Well, she's chosen to go out into the field. There's plenty of room to move about and lots of bushes around her. Okay, first target, Charfu 204. Very little armor on that little French tech medium. Rounds out. It was a good guess. She has to change position straight away because obviously right out in the field would be fairly easy to spot, but as I said, there's plenty of bushes around, and she's moving right over to the west side of the map, all the way over. Okay, lots of targets in sight now. In fact, huge numbers of targets. In fact, some of them are bunching together, which is very good because when you hit more than one tank, you maximize your chances of either getting a Confederate and or... Oh, and that was a direct hit! I think she got the lurver. You maximize your chances of getting stun assist and or getting a Confederate, and that really does help in this game. You can see the little EBR, the Lynx actually. Oh, he just took a massive hit by not looking where he was driving. He went straight into that rock and took 2 hits after being hit there. Angelina's trying to line up a shot on him as he's moving about. You can hit these little things if you can predict exactly where they're going. Well, she fired a round in anyway on the hope of hitting him. Oh, he popped his top. Seeing a lot of that in Ukraine. In fact, I saw one the other day where the turret went up something like 150 feet in the air as viewed from the road, and well, I set a new height record for T-72 turrets, it did. At least that's what I think. Rounds out. Oh, that's a kill. 100 hit points is all she got, but it was a kill. I think somebody must have hit that Progetto just a moment or so before Angelina hit him, because he actually, it shows 700 hit points lost, but Angelina only got 100 out of that. Is that Lynx still moving around, and this time he's in the bowl. If she can slow him down just a little, stunning him, then our teammates will finish him off just like that. In fact, that's the value of having stun. It really does slow the enemy down on those little light wheelies, the terrors of the battlefield. If you can slow them down just a little, then you make them vulnerable. Well, T-30 got tracked and stunned. Only 56 hit points, but it all counts. Okay, we've got a Scorpion's managed to come up the road, and he's actually getting pummeled now. Yeah, he's losing lots of hit points. Angelina, oh, too late to get in there, Angelina. He couldn't get a shot because he's already dead. The Jagdpanther 5 managed to get a hit on him, and he's out the game as well. Okay, we've got a 110 over next to the railway line. Sitting still, rounds out. Yep, that's a hit, 454. She's now racking the damage up. Just keep that going. As you probably all saw, because I put a video up, I actually had to go in the 212 myself just recently. In fact, it was one of 5 games, 5 wins that I had on that day. And the 212A is really good for racking up the damage. I promise you, if you can get the right tank and get stun assist. Oh, that was on the engine deck. 328. Nice hit. This little Arty is very capable. It's not only got vents, but you can use vent purge as well, and that boosts the crew performance no end at all. Pardon me. If you use premium consumables on top of that, you get a fast reload. You get lots of damage. That 203mm howitzer. There we go. He's just about there. Looks about right. Rounds out. Here we go. Well, no kill, but it certainly would have upset him. Whoever was actually in the Arty at that end would have actually realised, oops, I've been located. It's an M53, M55. Now, he will be looking in this direction now, because he'll know the direction the shell came from. So Angelina does need to keep moving. But that lurver is now one shot, and he can be taken out by Angelina if she can get around near him. Rounds out. Here we go. That's a kill. Nice. As you all know, I consider this is a bit of an art form, actually, playing Arty, because you have to be incredibly patient to take those long waits in between shots. But once you actually put that round in, if you put it in accurately, you can change a battle. And you can also motivate a team. If they see enemy tanks going down to Arty, they start realizing they've got to get a move on, or if they won't get any hit points at all. Enemy tank was spotted there. It was a 110. There he is. He's still there. Rounds out. Yep. He's out the game as well. So that's 3 kills now for Angelina. She's wrecking their team. She's decided to move forward. Now, although she went through those vent posts and the enemy Arty might have spotted those, she's actually moving forward to a position where he's probably not going to think she is, because it's so much closer to the enemy. And what she's actually doing is moving to keep up with her team, and also to make sure that she can shorten the time between her shot and the hit on the enemy tank. 7032 still up on the hill, not doing anything. He's got poor gun depression. Rounds out. This looks good. Well, it landed where he was last seen. I'm pretty sure that would have done some damage. Now, all the enemy on this side of the map, except for the, well, all of them except an Object 263 have been wiped out. And he's wiped down to the south. There he is. He's been spotted. She's got a chance here to pick him up if she can get the kill. Just needs to get the shell in. Rounds out. Oh! Split second too late. She would have got him. She would have got him. The shell landed right alongside where he would have been. So there's only 4 enemies left, including their SPG. And she's taken up a position, a really good position now. The 7032's decided to push Rex to give him extra armor, but that's not going to work. Fully dialed in. Rounds out. This will be a kill if he lands near him. And it does. 4 kills. Again, racking up the damage. Well, the enemy E75's been spotted. He's the last enemy alive. Look at our... Oh, ABR just jumped over the top of him. We're going to put a round in. We can get the stun assist if we can stun him. Fire immediately. Rounds out. Here we go. Yes! Lovely hit. And he's taking damage. She's getting stun assist. It's all working. Char Future 4 comes in to bully him. Come on, you got 4 more seconds to get some more stun. Oh, she's getting it. She's getting it all. Oh, well, all except the last 90. And the game is over. Best scorer on the team. Here's the end of battle results, and it's a first-class tanker, this time for Angelina75 in the 212A. She managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. She did get 4 exactly. She also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. She managed to get 10, and her win 8th on this one was much higher. Super Unicum standard with 3,056. So, let's have a look. She says she's in the lead for sure. Well, definitely in the lead at the moment, but whether or not she keeps it, I don't know. She did get the highest damage in the game with 2,617 hit points, but it wasn't enough for a high caliber, unfortunately. I'll try and work out exactly how much short she was, but it was still a very good game anyway. 2,617 to her. 2,413 went to the Progetto 46, who also managed to get a Confederate, and 2,396 went to the Conway. Angelina scored the highest number of kills in the game with 4. 3 kills went to the Leopard prototype and the Jagdpanzer II. And when it came to base XP, she was pipped at the post by the EBR75 FL10, who got a patrol duty for being the only one spotting at least 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged. And he racked up a 1,263 base XP, whereas Angelina managed to get 933. I'm pretty sure that EBR, yeah, look at that spotting total. 5,619. Yeah, that's the sort of guy you want on your team, spotting all the enemy, keeping them in view, making it easier for the Arty to rack up accurate shots on the enemy, just like Angelina did in this one. And Angelina managed to get quite a few of those kills based on the EBR's performance. Let's have a look at detail. 14 shots fired in this one, so much more time, much more leisurely, but she was getting the damage in. 6 enemies hit, 6 shots, direct hit rather. No penetrations on this one, but she was hitting heavy tanks most of the time. 14 splashes on the enemy as well. 2,617 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4. 1,803 hit points of stun assist of 10 stuns. Now, I think it was the stun assist that really tipped her over the edge to get that first class in this game. And so now she's definitely in the lead. 30,474 credits. I'll get my mouth to work eventually. After ammunition and resupply, she took away a profit of 3,734 credits. So she goes from a loss to a win, based on the fact that she picked up loads of stun assist out of it. 933 base XP times 2 for the first victory. 1,866 experience points for sure. Yeah, that's nice. She's in the lead. But we did get a replay from Talon. So let's have a look at his game and see if he manages to beat her in the game. Well, at the start of this battle, we've got talon1958. He's in the Hummel, and he's on the south spawn of Overlord. Okay, you can see he's using the stock gun. Obviously, all the Arty professionals, as we like to call ourselves, I suppose, would use the stock gun on the Hummel because it's got so much of a better trajectory than the top gun, which is rather flat on trajectory. It does have a longer range, but this Arty is much more accurate. It's got a faster reload, and that compensates for the fact that it's got slightly less damage, because it's the same howitzer that you get on the Griller, the tier 5 SPG. Okay, he's decided to sit in the dip here just at the top of the chine, and the first target's going to be the Cromwell B, who's actually decided to pop up onto that little corner and shoot at our teammates. And now he's been hit. He won't be happy about that. In fact, he's pulling back. He realises he's just too far forward. Did get stunned. Talon's marking the target for his teammates to let him know, please hit that target so I can get some stun assist. Always helps to use that. There goes the Cromwell. Okay, can't get a shot on the A43 because he's pulled back just too far. So Talon's decided to go for the field area, but no, decides to go back to here because more enemy have turned up. And yeah, they're deciding to employ the same tactics as the Cromwell, and they're going to get hit. Well, that Sherman Jumbo just took a hit for 119 from Splash. We're going to see if we can hit that A43 every time he comes up. Oh, a Super Chaffee. Can't avoid that one. Thin armor on him. In fact, actually, he's got very low hit points, so rounds out. That's a kill. Opportunistic kill. Take them if you got them. Or as the other people would say, smoke them if you have to. If you haven't. I think they meant something else, but I mean, you know, smoke the tank. Yeah, yeah, of course you do. Okay, now can't get a shot on the Jumbo because he's pulled back behind the cliff. The A43 is pulling away. Yeah, the Jumbo's not feeling so confident now. Now we have got a shot on this A43 and he's sitting there to try and get shots. So he probably will pull back for that position again, but rounds out. Stunned him. Didn't get any damage off that one. Up on the cliffs we've got an Excalibur. I'm not sure he's in range, actually. I think he's just outside. Now, yes, we can get a shot on this A43. Dialing in. Just noticed that one of the enemy Artys is on the beach. And a solid hit on the engine deck of the A43. Yep, looks like our teammates in the M44 are going after the Arty that's on the beach. Meanwhile, up here on the lower cliff, we've got an M6. Had a few hits already. Rounds out. That's a direct hit, and he gets wiped out, so Talon picks up the stun assist. Now, the Object 244 is very close, but we've just lost our teammate in the KV2. I was going to say hold back on firing at the Object 244 until he pulls back from the KV2, but yeah, unfortunately we did lose the KV2. Now he's having to come out that little dip area because he can't shoot at short distances at the 244 whilst he's in that dip, so he needs to come up where it's a little flatter to get shots, but he doesn't want to get spotted by the 244, so he's put the house between him and the target. There he is. He's got a shot. And I think he left that one a little too late before shooting. That 244 is still there. He's gone back to the mouth of the chine. I think that rock's going to be in the way though. No, he can get over the rock into the 244. Lining him up. Rounds out. Looks good. It is good. Oh, that was so close. The other M44 was trying for a crossfire on the 244. He was going to get hit from 3 different directions at once. That would have been unfortunate for him. Not. P43 Biz, thin-skinned Italian medium. Well, he gets stunned. Now go back to that 244. I think that enemy Arty is way out of range. He's almost loaded. 244's backing up a little. We're loaded, ready to go. There's the 244. Rounds out. Direct hit, 210. He's slowly losing all of his hit points. He must realise that he's in grave danger now. And he doesn't really have anything to back him up. There's only 5 left on their team, including him. And here we go. Rounds out. Another direct hit, or was it? No, it was a near miss. It landed just in front of him as he backed up. Now he's using the house for cover. But Talon can just about get a shot into him now. Almost loaded. Go for it. Rounds out. Yes, kill shot. Nice shot. So there's only 3 left on the enemy team. That P43 Biz that Talon hit earlier. And 2 Artys. And the Artys are going to be at the other end of the battlefield, so there's not much chance we're going to get them. Oh, in fact, actually, they're not. One of them managed to sneak up the beach, and he's actually in the surf. Surf's up, dude. Yep, he's out the game, and that means there's only 1 enemy left, the M44, and he's running this direction, trying to go for our M44. They decided to use the P and SPG and move up the battlefield, and it didn't work for them because they got taken out anyway. And that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tanker for talon1958 in the Hummel. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 5 exactly. And his win rate from the battle was 2,624, which is Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score. Well, he got the highest damage on his team in that game. In fact, the highest damage overall, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. I'll find out exactly how many hit points below the high caliber he was, but yes, I think he missed out on the medal. But he did put the effort in, and yes, got the highest damage. The second highest damage being the KB2 with 1,331, and the third highest damage in the game actually went to the Object 244, who managed 1,255. When it came to kills, it was actually between the VK3001P, the Budgie, and the Jagdpanzer Vier with 3 kills apiece, and Talon managed to get 2 alongside the Object 244. And when it came to base XP, it was the VK3001P who got the highest, the Budgie second, the Jagdpanzer Vier, and then Hummel or Talon managed to get 618. So a little way behind the VK, but still a good result. Let's have a look at the detail. 14 shots fired, 6 direct hits and 1 penetration on the enemy. Just have a quick look and see which one did he pen. It wasn't the... Oh, it was the Chaffee who got the pen. Direct hit on him, went straight through his armor. No chance of him surviving that. 11 splashes, damage of 1,424, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2, so he just missed out on a Confederate in that one. 162 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns, and I think that may be the reason he didn't get a lot of stun assist in that game, and that may be the reason why he didn't get more than a second class. 33,573 credits on a premium count, 65,000 for completing a mission, 98,573 altogether, and after resupply of ammunition took away 91,503 credits profit, 927 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 1,854 experience points altogether. He says keep wrecking them, yeah, keep pumping those rounds out to try and get as many of the enemy as you can. But of course in this game he was devoting most of his attention to the beach, and it was working. He was generating credits, generating kills, but the problem was in the end that he just couldn't hit enough of the enemy in the time of the battle. He did hit as many as he could, and of course he actually did get the highest damage, but it wasn't enough to get him a medal or a Confederate, which and of course that first class that he needed to beat Angelina. So it means Angelina is very much in the lead in this game so far, because she's got the first class out of her games. Let's have a quick look at the armor profile for the Hummel, because we keep doing this for each of the tanks. It's basically a Panzer Vier with bits of Panzer III in it already. So it's a combination tank made from bits of other tanks that the Germans were manufacturing en masse. You can see the lower plate 30mm comes up to 40 with the angling. Upper plate there is 15mm. With the highly angled front it's 31mm. This is where the driver and the driver's mate is located. You can see it's 30mm thick. It's coming out at just about 30. The gun shield is virtually non-existent, 10mm thick on the side there, coming out about 13. It's just to stop bullets and splinters. And the sides of the vehicle are only 20mm thick, so you can see that it's very easy to penetrate one of these from the side. And of course the gun shield is very, very weak indeed, 10mm at the rear on the gun shield. And they're trying to keep the weight of the vehicle down, because the howitzer is a very heavy howitzer. It's as they call a schwer howitzer, a heavy howitzer in German. And they're trying to center the mass of the howitzer right in the center of the vehicle, as you'll see on the modules. We go to that right away. You can see that big howitzer is being balanced right in the center, and the engine's underneath as well. So they're keeping all of the mass, the center of gravity, right down the center of the vehicle because it's so heavy. And they were trying to keep the weight down by reducing all the armor that they put on the vehicle to try and enable it to go a little bit faster, because it was very slow with all that extra weight it was trying to carry. In fact, it's about 25 tons in total, so it didn't have a very powerful engine, but you can see the engine is in the center of the vehicle. We've got the driver up front with the radio operator sitting right next door to him with the radio, transmission in front of them. At the back of the vehicle, we've got the gunner on the right hand side, the tank commander on the left hand side. The two loaders are sitting behind them, feeding the shells into the breech. And there's the ammo racks either side. Now this Arty uses two-part ammunition. The shells are separate from the powder, and so they shovel the big heavy shell into the breech, and then they have these little kind of tins which are like an opened food tin, and they put powder bags into the tin, and the number of powder bags they actually put into the tin denotes how much power they want to put behind the shell to actually get the right trajectory to hit the enemy. So I think it was a maximum of 6 bags of powder would go into each tin if it was maximum power, and then they reduce one if they wanted the shell to go slightly shorter, and so on. But most of the cans with the powder in would go in this part of the vehicle, and the shells would go onto the back. In fact, the shells were normally carried by another vehicle, a weapons shell carrier, munitions Trager, I think they called it. And the munitions Trager would actually carry all the shells, because of course it was basically the same vehicle just without the howitzer. So of course it could carry all the extra weight in the terms of shells which would be in the back of the vehicle, and they just shovel them off that vehicle and into this one so that they could then use it on the battlefield. But you can see that the best place to put a shell is into the open back area if you can, if you're an Arty. And if you're a tank and you're firing at them, trying to get the rear. If you get the front, you will actually take out the engine rather than, because the engine isn't in the back like it is on the Panzer IV, it's actually in the middle. So there you go, that's where the modules are. So it's very definitely Angelina who's in the lead at the moment. If I can... There you go, that's Angelina's score. You can see Angelina's got that first class, so she's in the lead at the moment, and... well, Talon's going to have to step up his game if he wants to get a win, because he's only got a second class so far. But if he can come in with an ace tanker in the next 2 days, then he gets the weekend lie-in. So it's all up to you, Talon, because Angelina looks like she's got it at the moment. If she can get an ace tanker, she wins outright straight away. So it looks like Angelina's going to get the lie-in, and Talon's going to have to get up and chase after Remy. Thanks for watching.